Hey everybody, it's Peter. It's Sunday night, so that means it's time for Star Trek Discovery review. And tonight is episode 6, Lethe. It's Lethe, so I don't know if it's Lethe or Lethe, but it comes from the Greek meaning either forgetfulness or oblivion. So it's either you're gonna I'm already being forgetful because I just watched it about an hour ago. But this was a pretty good episode again. Actually, I think we're finally getting better. I don't know if everybody's got like looser underwear on or something. Everybody's not so bunched up. Lorca's his normal self. Michael, you get to see Smile a couple of times. Now get to see that Ash is now part of the crew. Tilly's her usual self, called Stammet. He's and maybe because of the spore thing from last episode, and of course he's maybe a little funky now because the end of the episode he walks away, but his image stays in the mirror, and then the mirror image walks away. So we don't know how this is affecting him in some way, even though his boyfriend doctor said, hey, you cool? Yeah, I'm cool. And apparently he's even cooler. Anyway, the episode is Sarek, and he takes an aide with him. They're actually going to fly out to a neutral location to actually try to negotiate peace with the Klingons, we find out later on. Again, there will be minor spoilers. I'm not going to go full on spoil. Again, comment down below if you want me to do like you don't care. You've seen the episode, you want to have my take, and I'll just talk about the whole episode from front to end. Or if you just want me to just do a quick synopsis and like don't spoil the whole thing, just my thoughts. So yes, so Sarek wants to go and talk to the Klingons about peace, and supposedly the way the story sort of goes, there's a faction, a fraction of the factions of Klingons also want to do for this as well. So that's where the story goes, and then you find out when Sarek's on the shuttle run with his assistant that there's again a fanatical group of Vulcans. But this is a faction that basically they don't want to deal with humans or outsiders. Everything is logic. So again, we've got the fanatical thing. In Orville, we got the Krill, and everybody say, oh, they're fanatical religious zealots. And here we've got another group of zealots, this time with the Vulcans. So Sarek's shuttle gets blown up because of the zealot. I think he was able to beam out the guy at the last second or somehow survive the explosion and knocks him out. While that's going on, we're back on the ship, and you get to see a disco t-shirt. So this is a funny thing. Everybody's going on in the forums like the really, uber fanboys in the Star Trek Discovery forum who are all like, please don't, diss Star Trek. Get it? Diss. Don't diss the diss. Don't be haters and whatever else. But everybody's like, well, it's STD because it's Star Trek Discovery. Well, STD is, sexually transmitted disease. And some people are saying, no, it's supposed to be DIS according to StarTrek.com or whatever. But, and I saw this the other day, somebody said, no, there's disco t-shirts you can get now with the word disco, and you got the, the deltas on your shoulders. And you got Tilly and Michael jogging the decks when you come back to the ship. And because what's happening is Michael is taking Tilly under her wing and going to try to train her towards a captaincy. And just all the best advice you can get. You got to run, you got to be able to do this, you got to do command, you got to be physically active. And when they go to the mess hall to go eat, well, I'm going to have this, and this. And I joked on one of the other forums too about, what's going to happen in episode 6. Oh, Michael's going to do this and going to have a party. And I'm like, pulling an Orville joke. Oh, it's a pizza party. And then I went back a little bit later after I saw this because they're going to have, I think it was white egg omelet burrito thingies. Yeah, they're having breakfast burritos. I said, okay, it's a burrito party. It's not a pizza party. Go figure. During breakfast, we actually get to see, oh, there's Ash. And Tilly's getting all dreamy-eyed. Oh, look, he's so hot. Ooh. So they sit down with him and talk. Trying to do official handshake greeting between Ash and Michael. Michael's still reserved. I think what they're trying to do with the character, because we do touch on Michael's backstory in the episode, Michael is still sort of, and I guess I'm not sure how old she was when her parents got killed in the big ass explosion. So she's probably been the majority of her life working on Vulcan disciplines. So that's why it sometimes, but it doesn't explain why she got so hot-headed in the pilot episodes either. So she's still trying to be more sociable and still do the Vulcan thing. So there's a bit of confusion in that, but there's other times where in this episode she smiles, she laughs a bit. So she's not such a stick in the mud anymore. So in the middle of a breakfast, so I guess shortly after Sarek's shuttle explodes, that he falls down. It's like an Obi-Wan Kenobi thing. Oh, I feel the terrible disturbances in the Force. I mean in the Katra. And because of the link that we established before in episode 2, when she's in the break and she's doing the little Katra thing with Sarek, Sarek's out, so now she's feeling Sarek's pain. Literally, she keels over, grabbing her side because that's where he's bleeding from. They rush to the sick bay, and they figure out, what's the whole Katra thing, and Dr. Culber said, "Oh, I've heard stories about this. I didn't think it was a real thing. Like, Captain, we have to go rescue Sarek. He's trapped somewhere, and we're not sure." So, okay, Lorca says, "Cool, let's go do it." And he gets in contact with Starfleet, and he talks to the Black Vulcan Admiral. And they're like, no, we can't do that. You can't do that. We know he's somewhere in this nebula. We'll go find him. And Lorca's like, by the time you guys figure it out, there's going to be a problem. We can go find him. We got the spore drive. We'll do it. And then they devise a plan where, okay, we got up to the nebula. They jumped in, okay, no incident. Nobody found them. So then they get there and they figured, okay, she can't do a rapport with the Sarek, and they're trying to use the scanners, and because of the radiation field of the nebula, of course, scanners are useless. So they're thinking, how are we going to get out there? Oh, we can send a probe. No, the probes work, and we won't be able to find them properly. So, of course, Michael says, I know, I'll get on a shuttle, and we'll do some things, and they figure out a way to use a device to augment her mental abilities. So, again, this is the only scene we actually see Stamets this time, so it's only see him a little bit, and this was a weird thing too. He's a little more jovial than before, but again, it could be because, like I said earlier, he did the spore drive thingy, and he sees maybe something. He literally has a split personality, one in the mirror, one in the real world. Who knows? So he's all, yeah, sure, we can do that. That's a crazy thing. I'm a crazy person. Oh, I like you. And then he goes groovy as one of his comments, and I thought, wait a minute. Ash Tyler should be the one saying groovy. So they effect a rescue, jump on a shuttle, and it's going to be Tilly. She asked the captain if she can bring Tilly along because, one for training and for, she's good in the crunch, and we need somebody to help with the mind meld gizmo they're going to use, which is weird too when you get this finally see that used. It's this little thing that goes on the side of her face, and it looks like the four or 5 points you usually see when the Vulcans do the mind meld, and they put their fingers on the side of the head a certain way like that. Well, the gizmo sort of sits on her face like that as well, which is okay. Meanwhile, all this is going on. Admiral Cornwell, or Kat, that's the female admiral we've seen before, who's buddy-buddy with Lorca. You find out they actually have a bit of a history. Kat's a little bit concerned about Lorca because he made a joke about doctors, and you find out actually she used to be a psychiatrist. First, you're sending out she's still big on Michael and the Mutineer, so it's like, first you sent out a Mutineer with a cadet, and you sent out a POW in a shuttle to go rescue Sarek. What the heck? He says, well, this is what I think. It says, are you my doctor or are you my boss? Then she takes off her badge, puts it on the table. He breaks out a bottle of single malt, apparently, and they have a sit-down drink, and so you find out later, they were buddy-buddy and this, cat, and the other thing. I guess the drink's kicking in, and you get a bit of a bow, which I can't say the words, but, they're going to get the groove on. As the rest of the story progresses, Michael is still trying to make a mind meld contact with Sarek, and there's parts of it where it's almost like Doctor Strange, where he does one of the things, she's there. He sees her in the sort of dream state, and what they're doing is reliving the day that she couldn't get into the Vulcan Academy. And she thought, oh, I didn't do well or didn't do right. And Sarek sees her, he does one of these, get out. And it looked like something out of Doctor Strange. And he's just basically, as he's dying, he's reliving the day that he had to tell Michael, you're not getting into the academy. That was nice how they tried to keep the continuity. The fact that we've introduced now Michael into the world of, Mr. and Mrs. Sarek. And you get to see Amanda for the first time. So the reason Michael can't get into the academy, because when Sarek is talking to the head of Vulcan Academy, says to Sarek, look, you got 2 kids, you pick one or the other, and it goes from there. But he never tells Michael the whole time why that's the decision was made. That, oh no, I can get my son in. I want to get Spock into the academy for him, and I'm sorry I can't let you in. And that's eventually how she ends up in Starfleet. But the story did have a slight bit of a happy ending. We did find Sarek. Unfortunately, he couldn't go to the meet he was going to have with the Klingons. And so Admiral Cornwell says, oh, I'll go instead. and she, jumps in the shuttle, heads out there, and you find out it's a trap. She's captured. They actually wanted to capture Sarek, but they figure, hey, we got a Starfleet admiral. That's cool. And don't know what to do. But this time, which surprises Saru, that Lorca actually says to him, okay, contact Starfleet. What's our battle plan? What are we going to do? And Saru's like, squeeze me? You heard me. Do I have to explain myself? And it's like, no, but Captain, normally, something happens. You just say, let's do this, and here's the orders. And he's kind of like, no, I think this time, and maybe because he had an earlier discussion with Cornwell about she thinks he's losing it. And then also there was a scene too where after they made out, he's rolled over on his side. He doesn't have a shirt on, and he's got some scarring on his back. So Kat's looking at him and going like, hey, what's this? And she just lightly touches his back. He flips out, jumps around. I thought he was just going to, I kind of knew he was going to jump, but he jumps out and literally pulls a phaser and puts like, ah, what are you doing? Don't, oh shit, I forgot somebody's in my bed. And she's just like, what? You carry a loaded phaser under your pillow? You are nuts. And I thought she was going to like relieve him of command right there. And I thought, actually me, thinking the way Lorca was that, if I get the Admiral in the shuttle, I guess he's not as devious as I think he is. I have thought that maybe, I can get the Admiral in the shuttle, send her on her way, and maybe we can blow up the shuttle. Hey, I still keep my command. Oh yeah, one other point I did forget to mention. Before they go on the mission, you actually get to see a scene, Tyler and Lorca doing, and I thought, they're not on a mission. I assumed right away as soon as they're running around and they're doing phaser drills and doing house clearing. You're going from room to room to room, checking out, clear, 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 clear. Oh, yeah, this is a holodeck thing. And so, now we got holodecks. I do believe, though, that there was holodecks mentioned in the animated series, but we really don't see holodecks until, pilot episode of TNG. So I guess they're saying, hey, we're going to have holodecks now. Why not? I can let that slide a little bit. The other weird thing was when they're in Sarek's mind and Michael's trying to figure out a way how to get him back. He said, well, you did the thing with the Katra thing, and what did you do? And he said, well, I did the Vulcan Mind Meld on you. And she's like, well, show me. So he shows her how to put the fingers on his face. And I thought, oh, okay. Time out. I can see a Vulcan sort of doing that way, but I can't see Michael doing it because, again, she's a human. And somebody brought it up too in the pilot when she's sort of like mathematical. Oh, yeah, it's the storm's not going to show up till, and then we'll find out the storm shows up. So she's trying to be, maybe she is a smart genius level analytical stuff, but just because you're trained and you live with Vulcans doesn't mean you are a Vulcan. Overall, we are getting better. Everybody's more chill. I guess that's what Stamets needs, was a bit of a spore hallucination, drive trip to clear out the crankiness out of them. But yeah, there was only a couple little faux pas that didn't bother me, but I thought, like, yeah, Michael doing a mind meld and the holodeck thing, not too bad. I still think it was funny with the disco t-shirts because, I didn't finish saying, everybody's going on, what we're going to call the short. There's been a huge argument, with the fanboys and girls about, no, it's not DST, STD, it's not STI, it's DIS. And then these guys are walking around, and I use this just to say, yeah, so I was watching disco the other day, and I just do it just to piss people off. But disco t-shirts when they're jogging on the deck, so hey, there you go. It's officially disco. So anyway, put it to you. What did you guys think? Did you like the episode? Are you still on board? I'm slowly joining. I'm not going to be a massive rabid fanboy in this. I look at it without my canon chip on, except for, like I said, a couple of little things that bugged me. But overall, I think we're coming along. If we don't make too many radical changes, it's not bad. But I'm looking at it more, when I look at some of this stuff too, I look at, it's Star Trek. I look at it like it's a show, it's entertainment. I want to see stories with people interacting, going through challenges, conflict resolution, that kind of thing. But just sticking on a sticker saying, but it's Star Trek. Sure, you can put a name on it, say it's Star Trek. Is it Star Trek? It's still conflict, it's still fighting. I'm still not seeing the exploration thing. It's more of a war story. It's like saying it's just like Rogue One of Star Wars. It's a war story. It wasn't truly Star Wars per se. There weren't any Jedi Knights. There was like the Jedi aspect, that kind of thing. But same idea too. It's a part of, but not 100%. Same with Discovery. And of course, there's going to be arguments about this too. If you mention this to other fan, was like, no, this is Star Trek. I've grown up, like I have to keep rectifying this, but I've grown up since the 60s. So I've been watching this since the beginning. And to me, I liked it, how the characters were and how the interaction was, but it still doesn't feel like Star Trek. To me, it's just a sci-fi show right now. It is not true Trek in my thinking. Somebody else might say, nope, this is Trek for me. Other people go like, this isn't Trek, and all the haters and stuff. So again, we're getting this wide spectrum of thoughts, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm enjoying it at least. Then I did say the first 2-3 episodes. So we are coming along. We are getting better. And I think we've got, I guess another 9 episodes, supposed to be 15 episodes. So again, we're seeing how this goes. But yeah, it's a lot of rough patches, but we seem to be leveling out. So again, you know what to do. Down below, put the comments, like, dislike. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe. Hit the bell icon if you want to see more. Anyway, that's enough for me for tonight, and see you in the next one.